Um, Hold on one second. Let me do that. Awesome. So, welcome to this week's edition of Spredict Live. My name is Fred Endy. I am one of the founders of Spredict. We are a predictive gaming platform designed to bring players something a little bit new in the space, and that involves a few things that are a little bit different. One, we operate off of a subscription model where as you play, you can subscribe for monthly access, right, to various games within our platform, depending on the type of sports and non-sports experience that you enjoy. Our games are also designed to bring you something a little bit different. Our games are not standard pick A or B. Instead, every game that Spredict has designed incorporates different elements of game theory into playing. And we'll take a look at one shortly, and I'll explain a little bit about how it all works. And then the third piece is we're designed to truly be customizable. Projects, lounges, any group that wants to come together to create opportunities to engage and play together can utilize this Predict platform to build out opportunities for predictive gaming in areas that you yourselves like. And today we're going to talk a little bit about tonight's UFC Fight Night and utilize our DApp to make our picks. I'll share with you what my picks are. I've done really quite well over the last 3 weeks. I want to say 3 weeks ago, I was 4 for 5. Then 2 weeks ago, might have been 3 for 4. We did not have a fight night last week, right? And so we are back this week. And we'll see how I do. Hopefully, 4 for 4. These are picks that I will also parlay into a very small parlay bet. But there are also picks that I've thought about, done some research on. Of course, none of this is financial advice in any way. However, we hope that you enjoy thinking a little bit about some of the fights on tonight's card, as well as making your picks using this Predict tab. So the first thing we're going to do is have you head over to our Spredict DApp, and you'll see the link on the bottom of our stream screen. You'll basically want to go to dapp.spredict.io. Having some tea to start the morning here. And so once you've gone there, you'll be able to connect your wallet, and I'll show you how to do that momentarily. So again, I'll put it up one more time. dapp.spredict.io is the link to access our DApp and make your picks. So let me pull that up on screen for you now. So I'm going to share so you can have a look at it if you are not near. Let's see. Window, Chrome tab. Let's see, where is it by chance? Looking, dashboard. Interesting. Why can't I find it here? Hold on. Let me try it now. Let's say predict screen, window. How funny. What if I know what I'm going to do. Hold on. Let me pull it out here. Now it should work. So let me pull it up. Perfect. Here we go. So now you should be looking at our why in the world is it not? What? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So you should be looking at the Spredict DApp on screen. And again, just as a quick reminder, You can access our DApp at any time via dap.spredict.io. So the first thing I want to mention is the layout of our DApp. What you'll eventually be able to do is connect to elements of our dashboard over in the upper left through the DeFi tab. For now, it's located just on play. You'll see on the left-hand side the MMA tab, which is what we're looking at now. The game we're going to be playing called Face Off. Tap Out is another game that we're working on, which focuses on finishing style. So we'll share more with that as we go and build. We've built the background for a Formula One series of games. Those will go live in the near future. We're working on a element of a crypto ecosystem for those of you who are not sports enthusiasts. And then you'll see the rewards button where you'll be able to earn and take your winnings from any of the tournaments or picks that you participate in. And then also you'll be able to buy your monthly subscription where it says get your Spredict Pass down at the bottom left. In the middle of the screen is what we'll be looking at, all of our fight pools. Live event is what we're playing. Past results, you'll be able to pull up your past results. Leaderboard for our Spredict Pass users, you'll see your scores lined up. And then live odds, and I'll explain this to you all shortly. This connects to the picks as well as that starred feature, which we'll talk about. There's a instruction tab up at the top and down over within the play window itself. And then to connect your wallet, you can connect in a variety of different ways. I'm going to connect via my Abstract Global wallet. Let me just approve. And you can see that I am now connected up towards the top. And so let's take some time to talk a little bit about the pools that we have. Just to mention, we are looking at 4 of the fights from the main card. We'll take a few minutes to talk about each. I'll share my predictions, and then below you can see all of the pools that we have run previously. So why don't we start and then work our way up to the main event? So we're going to we're going to pull up our fight cards for tonight. And the first fight that we're going to take a brief look at is a middleweight battle. Zachary Reese, United States. Reese is 8-2-0, and Desko Todorovic, 12-5 from Serbia. Reese is favored at negative 250, right? And so he is a large favorite on the card for this evening. Apologies for my dog going in the background. But Reese is favored at 250. He's got a height advantage of about 3 inches, reach advantage of about 3 inches, and takes the advantage for takedown accuracy. He doesn't. The thing that is important to note is Todorovic doesn't bring anything to the table physically. He's not. He doesn't excel at any of those physical elements in any way at all. It's not to say he isn't well matched, right? It's simply that Reese tends to bring more to the table physically, and that makes a big difference when you're engaged in any type of MMA type of battle, right? Reese has lost 2 of his last 5 matches, right? So he's coming off of a bit of like a challenging phase in the very near future. The 3 he's won been very varied. He's won a fight via submission, decision, and knockout. Really, really hard fighter. He fought Marquez recently, knocked him out in under 30 seconds. And he's also a what I'd consider a regular fighter. He will have fought 6 times in under 2 years after tonight. And when you think about it, we have some really, really strong UFC fighters who fight maybe once a year. So it's clear that Reese really enjoys being in the octagon, fighting others, right? And so it's something that he is very comfortable with. He is new to UFC, right? He's only fought 4 times in the program, so that is important to note. Todorovic has lost 3 of his last 5. All 5 fights have ended in a knockout, so this is a fighter who is getting knocked out or he is knocking other people out. Also fairly new to UFC, only 8 fights under his belt. The challenge, I'd say, for Todorovic is he seemingly has not really adjusted to the UFC program. His fights prior to UFC were all wins, but since entering the program, he's lost more than he's won. He fights for the knockout, right? Clearly, which could be a potential issue for Reese. However, I do think Reese is a stronger fighter. He's exhibited more skills when he has fought. He's got overall stronger physical attributes. So I'm going to back Reese to win in this case and go with the chalk, right? So what you'll see is I just click the button for Reese. It will turn purple, representing that that's where my pick is, right? And then I'm going to go on to our next fight of the card. Just again, for those of you who are just listening, right? Here is our link for our DAP. Make sure you get in there, right? Make your selections. We're going to move on to the light heavyweight match right now, and this one is an interesting one, right? So our light heavyweight battle is between Dustin Jacoby of the United States. He's 29-1. Bruno Lopes of Brazil, 14-1-0. Our friend Dustin, he's got about an inch in height, 2 inches in reach over Bruno. Lopes stronger on the takedown accuracy. Both have similar significant strike accuracy, though. Bruno is also a few years younger. And so here's my thing with Jacoby. His record, it's not so great overall, but his punches are insane. He is clearly an example of a fighter whose goal is to literally knock you out with the first punch. He doesn't seem to really care if his punch is the first or the last, but this is a fighter who is looking to knock you out. And with a lot of times with light heavyweight battles, these guys hit hard and fall hard, right? So he's lost 3 of his last 5. The 2 he's won were via knockout. He had a crazy knockout of Petrino. Jacoby's favored at -90. Lopes, though, has won 4 of his last 5. He only has 1 UFC fight under his belt, though, so it's a little challenging to look at that record and feel comfortable with it. It is possible that Bruno's on the way to becoming a star. It's also possible he's going to get trashed by Jacoby, and this is definitely a proving ground for Bruno Lopes. Is his record capable of standing up to the UFC program? A little unknown. My bet is on Jacoby for this one. He's just the type of fighter to remind someone who's newer what UFC is all about. So I'm going to also go with the favorite here. One of the things I want to point out to you as you're watching, you'll notice that there's a star on some of the selections. What that star represents is where the majority of the people picking have locked in their rates. And so that's what we call our favorite feature, locked in their picks. This feature is something we've added to add an additional element to how our game development and design works. And the idea being, when you are competing for prizes, if you make a pick that the majority of players have picked and you're correct, you get 1 point. However, if you make a contrarian pick, let's say, for instance, for the middleweight fight, I picked Todorovic and he wins. Okay, because he is the underdog, I'll earn more points on the leaderboard, depending on the game, style, etc. So it's an additional way to add another element to our gaming and the way people play. All right, you ready? Here we go. So this is a lightweight fight. We've got Mateusz Gamrot of Poland facing off against Ludovic Klein of Slovakia. Gamrot is 24, 3-0. Klein is 23, 4-1. Both of these fighters are really well matched. Gamrot has a height advantage of about 3 inches. Klein has a reach advantage of about 2.5 inches. Both have excellent striking accuracy at about 60%. Really, really precision-based fighters. Klein, though, is a much stronger takedown fighter. Takedown accuracy over 50%, which is awesome. Gamrot lost his last fight to Hooker via submission, and prior to that had won 3 and then lost to Dariush in a unanimous decision. Now, Gamrot has had some really awesome wins. An impressive win against Sarukian a few years ago proved that Gamrot can really fight, right? We know how good Sarukian is. And though he's 3 for 2 in his last 5, Vegas still likes him to win this fight at about 160. It's not a huge favorite, but still favorite enough. Klein is coming off a span of 6 wins, also with a draw included. The guy hits so hard. The thing for him is he just hasn't had the string of fights and challenge that Gamrot has. Both fighters bring a lot to the table. I just think Matthias brings more experience, stronger fight resume, and a better outlook. And so I'm going with him. So I'm going to lock that in. And then we come to our main event. It's awesome to have a women's match as the main event on this card for Fight Night, right? We've got 2 awesome fighters, Erin Blanchfield, who's 13-2, and Macy Barber, who's 14-2. Both of these fighters are ranked really high in the flyweight category, and so this is a fight that will help propel them into kind of like the top echelon of that division. So they're about as similar as can be, physical characteristic wise, significant strike, takedown accuracy, very similar. Blanchfield is favored at 250, which is interesting given how similar the fighters are and their records and styles. The thing is, Blanchfield has only lost once since entering UFC, right? And has won via unanimous decision or submission in each of her wins. She also has a really strong fighter resume. She beat Andrade, Namajunas. She did lose to Fior in their most recent match, though. Really plays to the crowd. When she beat McCann, she brushed her shoulders off, right, which was really cool to see. She's currently ranked 4th in the flyweight division. A win there would put her in great shape to be up with, the normal contenders, so Grasso, Firo, Silva, Shevchenko. On the other side, we have Macy Barber. Her nickname is The Future, right? So real young fighter, ready to stage a come-up. She's ranked 5th in the division. And this fight will determine whether she becomes like a soon-to-be contender. Barber hasn't lost a fight in 4 years. She lost to Grasso in 2021. And she's won via decision or knockout, though some of those decisions have been split. So both of these fighters can fight. Both have a lot resting on the end result. Styles and approaches are similar, but I have to believe that Blanchfield, who brings a stronger resume, stronger wins in the win category, will come out on top. If we were doing a finishing pick, I would certainly believe that this would go to the decision round, right? So now I've got all 4 of my picks selected. You'll notice towards the bottom of the window, you can validate your prediction, so I'm going to do that. All right, so I'll pull this up. Going to approve. It's going to log in, right, and lock in my picks. And then what I can do, if I refresh the screen, it should show my picks locked in, right? They should pop up on screen. There you go, right? You'll see a little notification. Your prediction is validated, and I'm set, right? I am in, right? And you can see that my picks have been added to the selection pool so far, right? And so you can see those odds recalculating. right? Based on the picks that have been made, you've got about 9 hours to make your picks, right? And so my recommendation is for you to visit our DApp, get your picks in. It's all free to play, won't cost you anything. Uh, I'm gonna lock in these 4 picks in a small budget parlay and see how I do. Do a little 4 pick, and then we'll see. Right? Do I come out on top? Am I correct? In fact, I'm going to lock them in stream too. So I've got my picks. Right? Our Blanchfield, Gamma, Jacoby, and our friend Reese. Right? So locked in. And yeah, we'll see how I do. So we run these streams. Usually every week we have UFC fights. Usually for the fight nights, it's me on screen making my picks. When there's a UFC big event, we'll look to bring on some guests and lock them in as well. Thank you all for joining us for our Spredict Live. Wish you good predictions, good fun. And again, thanks for all the support of what we're building. See you soon.